Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Tuesday. This is Game Day Live, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios inside the bunker, undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey, and halfway across the United States in Chicago, Illinois, at the United Center parking lot. It's Vinnie Parise of PucksandPitchforks.com, the hockey news, USA Today. Am I missing anything? The Windy City? Are you still on the Windy City?
No, I'm not with Fansided anymore outside of Pucks and Pitchforks, but you forgot one of the most important ones of the Let's Go Devils podcast, Game Day Live.
Oh, yeah, Game Day. Well, they know we're on Game Day Live. Jeez. That is the most prominent one. You know, USA Today, you know, that ranks over here. Game Day Live is like an up-and-coming.
Way up there.
Yeah, it's an up-and-coming podcast.
Yeah. It's more than up-and-coming, but I see your point.
Yeah. Well, it is December 23rd, Vinny, and I have a grievance right now, off the bat.
Happy Festivus.
Yeah, happy Festivus. Happy Devil's Festivus to you all. But that glare behind you with that light, you know, I see the light.
I'm so bright.
Yeah. It looks like, I don't know. It just annoys me. A lot of things annoy me.
It kind of annoys me too. Now that you say it, I would have never noticed it had you not said it. Let's see if I can fix it.
No, Vinny, it's part of the, you know, the thing, you know, called
the Festivus gimmick.
Yeah.
The Festivus gimmick.
I was just really stretching there to complain about something, so I don't run out of ammunition.
I could complain about something.
All right, what are you going to complain about?
One of my grievances is that due to work tonight, I'm watching the Devils on my computer with the headphones. I prefer to be watching it in my cozy home. You know, maybe some hot chocolate, a cold beverage. But you know, work calls. I love this job. I'm never going to complain about it. I love this job, watching hockey. My other grievance is that while I watch the Devils from my laptop tonight, the team on the ice facing the Chicago Blackhawks is none other than the Philadelphia Flyers. You know, a team we tend to loathe on this podcast publicly. I have to be objective and watch them as like a normal person tonight. So that's going to be how it goes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't like their fans back in the day. I used to call them inbred. Still do.
It's the best way to describe Philly in sports.
Yeah. I'm seeing some comments right now. Dubs is like, Sam, what happened to the Woo Bus 1 trip to the island? I hate the term, but if there was a midseason must-win game tonight, it is. The Woo Bus 1 trip is January 6th. There's still time to sign up. Email me, sam@letsgodevils.com. I'll give you some information on it. You can go on Danielle's website. I just don't have it on the top of my head. But no, that trip
is at the Islanders, so good thinking.
Yeah.
But
it's January 6th. Yeah, January 6th. We couldn't do this one because it was we only had a few days to plan. So,
yeah.
Actually, it's more on Danielle. She picked January 6th. But it's still on. I'm actually looking forward to that trip, Vinny, because there's going to be a lot of technology challenges on it when you're doing a podcast on a moving bus, especially if you're going through New York City and you're going tunnels where you have no internet service. What do you do? Yeah, what do you do?
That's for Sam Wu to figure out. I feel like you accepted and execute this challenge, though. That's something you're going to want to do.
Do you want to hear like how we're going to do it behind the scenes?
Oh, I would love to. And the fans are going to want to know too, I'm sure.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is normally, you know, we operate from a studio, our laptop, right? But what we're going to do is I'm going to remote into the studio at the bunker. So the bunker will always be fully functional. And right before we go through a tunnel, Scotty and I will have it planned. Usually Scotty gets the memo like that during the show, what we're doing. If we're going through a tunnel, I do a one shot of Scotty, see if I can listen in, and Scotty can go solo. And then once I get the internet back, I'll be back on.
That's beautiful. That's going to work perfectly. I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to pull this off.
I might need Mrs. Wu in this, because we also in the industry, in the radio broadcasting industry, we might have to have a POTS line. Do you know what a POTS line is?
No, but I know you're going to tell me.
Yeah. Plain old telephone service. So I might have my cellular connection, which does work in the tunnels, usually, as a backup plan, so I never lose Scotty in my ear.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Is there somebody behind you? That's pissing me off.
I think it's people getting ready for the game, just standing next to their cars.
I thought it was a police officer, to be honest with you. It looks, because of the glare, it looks like they're looking in, like, what are you doing?
Well, there are probably people who wonder what the heck I'm doing on here, but...
Yeah, I get that too. Now that
I stick out like a sore thumb. I'm not wearing black. I'm wearing a nice sweater. I'm not wearing a hat. Yeah. I stick out like a sore thumb, but that's what we do on this podcast.
A couple times I had to roll down the window and say, I'm on a conference call, but really I'm doing a podcast. Like, I'm not going to say, I'm doing a podcast, from the mobile command center. Haven't you heard it? No.
That's probably what I would say that.
Yeah, I mean, one time...
You don't listen to Let's Go Devils podcast? What's wrong with you?
Now, there was one time that I was producing a podcast, and I had a police officer ask me what I was doing, and I just showed him, Oh, no, I just had to pull over side of the road. I couldn't make it back in time. Oh, that's pretty neat. Well, have a good night. So that's happened before, so... all right. Well, we got a lot of comments in the YouTube live, but what other grievances? You know what a grievance I have? Tate McRae and Jack Hughes.
Oh boy.
You know why?
I was waiting for this. I felt this was coming eventually.
Well, actually, I don't have a problem with it. What I do have a problem is... I guess his hand is bandaged up. I guess it's just to protect it. So
yeah, I did see the picture of him with Tate out and about in New York, and it is covered by like a medical looking, almost like a cast, like a port. Like what would be a non-permanent cast? What would
the
you
air
call
cast?
That?
The air cast.
It's clearly he's able to take it on and off, but you know what? If that's what it takes. Wear that damn thing. Wear it year round. Don't ever cut your steak without ever having it on ever again.
Oh, I know. And you want to know something? Jack did score a goal, the only goal, in his first game back. So, I hope he keeps scoring, because you know what fans are going to do, because I'm probably one of them. If he goes on a drought, everybody's going to blame Tate. And she had nothing to do with it.
No, she had nothing to do with it. I would be annoyed if he clearly was laboring his hand and it was clear he was back too soon and he was wearing the cast away from the rink. That would bug me.
Yeah.
But he was their best player against the Buffalo Sabres last game. He was their best player, bar none. I thought the Meyer, Heischer, Bratt line was the best line, but the best individual player was Jack Hughes. He scored the only goal. He didn't look like his hand was bugging him at all. So if it's clearly a precautionary thing to be wearing it away from the rink, maybe he was able to come back too early. He feels fine. Like, that's fine. If it was causing him to labor his hand, that would be an issue that I took with him coming back so soon. But clearly it's not a big deal.
Yeah, Dubs is like, Sam's going to call in to himself on his own podcast on January 6th. Anyway, did you see that video? I actually retweeted this video. Happened at an Islanders game in 2003. I think about on this day, where they had like some Santa contest and all the Santas were out on the ice, and there were probably like 75 of them. I'm just making up a number, and then 3 knuckleheads thought it would be funny to take off their Santa costume and have New York Rangers jerseys under it, and they got the crap kicked out of them by the other Santas.
There are 2 things about that that's funny. I do find it funny that they did that. Like, if you're gonna be a troll, be a troll. But also the other Santas for kind of messing with them back. I respect that.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. I would be mad if I was in that contest. I'd be mad. But I don't remember that back in 2000. We were too busy winning cups back then. Who knew what the Islanders were doing? They had They had Rick DiPietro.
I was gonna say they thought DiPietro was gonna save them.
Yeah,
they paid him all that money, and now he's the oh my god.
Was he a radio host, right?
No, but yes, he is. But oh my god, what's his name? July 1st, Mets. Bobby Bonilla. He's the Bobby Bonilla of the NHL. Every year he collects that paycheck for the over contract buyout.
I mean, the owner's still not. He passed away a long time ago.
Not his problem.
Not his problem. His estate sold the team, I guess. I don't know.
I think I actually know, for some reason I know the Islanders are owned by 2 gentlemen named Scott Malkin and John Ledecky.
Yep.
I don't know why I know that. I think it's because one of them's last name is Malkin, and I'm like, there's a guy named Malkin who's American that owns the hockey team, but that's besides.
Well, for me, it's
sure
the
that's their
Ledecky.
owner's name.
For me, it's the Ledecky. The swimmer.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of cool, and then it's weird because Jessica Pegula was playing tennis at the Rock. And of course, this jersey thing. That's another grievance. They're still like promoting it in its last year, and they presented her a jersey. And it's like her family owns the Sabres. Like, what is she gonna do with it?
Yeah. It's just what the Sabres do, I guess. They made a Sabres win jersey too for Twitter, but they forgot to remove the Stanley Cups inside of the neck because the Sabres don't do that sort of thing ever. So
yeah, it's a Buffalo thing. They just don't win anything.
No, maybe this is the year in football.
You think so?
No, I don't like their defense at all.
Do you know who I'm rooting for? I'm rooting for the Colts. I know they got 2% chance of making the playoffs. But look, if they beat the Jaguars next week and Texans lose, then it's a win and in game for them against the Texans.
And I think someone who needs someone's playing the Texans too. No, maybe I was thinking of the first overall pick being impacted by the Texans game. I don't know. It could happen. It could happen. I assume it's because of Daniel Jones that you want the Colts to win.
No, Phillip Rivers. Daniel Jones is out. So.
Oh yeah, duh.
Yeah.
I knew that. Yeah, duh. You wanted a literal grandpa.
Well,
make it to the playoffs.
He technically is the first round draft pick by the New York Football Giants.
Yeah,
technically. And some of these, when Tom Brady played, it's like they're my age. I went to college when Tom Brady was in college. Yeah. And just to see them go that far, I still believe that I can be a professional athlete one day.
Yeah, sure. You can.
But obviously I don't have the drive. I don't have the physical ability. But I do believe I have the locker room ability. That's the only thing I have.
Oh, yeah.
I like chewing people out.
You would have been Sam Ferda Boys Woo.
I bet you I could kick better than Young Hao Koo before he got cut.
Can you imagine a kicking competition for the starting job between Young Ho Koo and Sam Woo? The headlines write themselves.
I know.
Woo versus Koo. Woo versus Koo.
Yeah, you know who should be trying out is Frank the Tank's son, who kicked at Tulane. He did kick at Rutgers, transferred to Tulane through the portal, and he actually kicked the game-winning kick in the Cotton Bowl, or it was the Fiesta Bowl. It was a couple years ago. A few years ago. Yeah, Tulane.
I often wonder why, and this is sometimes an NFL podcast, I guess, lately. I do often wonder why pro football teams don't just try out more kickers from off the street. I feel like that's the only position where there's gonna be someone out there who can kick bombs. I really think it's possible that you could just find guys from college. What do you have to lose if your guy just misses all the time?
Yeah. Yeah, or, there's always the viral videos. What if somebody kicked a 90-yard field goal? Would you sign that player?
Yeah, why can't he do it? I guess there's a certain timing technique that makes you be able to play in the NFL. But, you could.
But if you could kick a 90-yard field goal, you know what you do? If he has the timing issue where he has to get it off, then snap the ball further back if he has that range. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Unless it's
Your
in the rule book.
Your long snapper might not love it.
Unless it's in the rule book that you can't do that, that's
that
what I would
news
do.
To me.
Yeah. So, well, we got a game today, Vinny. Yep. Before Christmas. I get excited after Christmas because I always say that traditionally Devils fans is an after Christmas fan base. Because that's where everybody starts coming out. And I know the 27th, when they play the Capitals at the Rock, that's going to be it's probably going to be a sold out crowd. Tickets are hard to get. They're pretty pricey for that game. But, I would like to see the Devils get a win here. The Islanders are without Sorokin, from what I understand. And who else they're without with? I thought it was another guy as well. That's not
I can
Horvat.
Triple check.
Yeah, Horvat's not.
Oh yeah, yes. Horvat is out. Yes.
Yeah, and then you add in the Palmieris of the world, and guys that are been hurt. I like to see Matthew Schaefer, but at the same time, the Devils have got to win. I mean, they got most of their guys back now.
Well, yeah, and you're going to see Matthew Schaefer play well. No team is going to mask how good of a skater he is, or, his ability to, find open spaces and make passes and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's not like you're not going to be able to get the goods of Matthew Schaefer. It's on the Devils to check him hard, be good with their sticks, match his speed, match his brain. You're going to need saves. Obviously you have Pesci back. That's good. Jack Hughes, puck control, puck management, keep the puck away from Schaefer. You'll be able to enjoy his overall skills while not sacrificing what he brings, or without trying to stop what he brings in terms of offense, defense, everything that he's good for. Enjoy watching Matthew Schaefer. There's no harm in that, but I hope it's on the Devils to kind of keep him in check tonight. It's a guy whose name on the board. He's got to be on the board and one of the main focuses of their overall strategy coming into the game. I know Matthew Schaefer's name came up in Sheldon Keefe's pregame speeches, practice, all sorts of things leading up to this game. He's one of those dynamic players that, is going to be a treat to watch in the NHL for a long time. He's got a great story off the ice. Everybody loves this kid. So yeah, it's a fun matchup. It's a really fun matchup. I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, I'm excited too, and I'm seeing some of the comments here. Want to interrupt and change the subject here because everybody's talking about Wimpy and the old 217 Section 217 crew at Continental Airlines Arena. I see Pod Legend and Mike Rossi. I sat in 217 as well back in the day at Continental Airlines Arena. But somewhere down the line, if Wimpy remembers, we had a civil war in the section. I don't know if you know about this, Vinny, but we actually had a civil war between fans over something stupid.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, so we moved to 218. We had a civil war. I don't know. It was like we were all battle tested back in those days, but we actually had a civil war. So I went from 217 to 218 for the Stanley Cup Finals in 2003. I sat in 217, and John Butchergross was behind us. If you go way back, if you can find it on the internet, he did an article on Section 217 saying that we're the best fans in all of hockey. And he explained why. He's like, we may not come in numbers, but these guys are passionate. And, there's two beers. There was the flag bearer. If these names ring a bell. My buddy Ferris. We used to call him Bueller. But my buddy Ferris.
What else are you going to call him?
Well, my buddy Ferris told me back in 1995 during the Cup Finals, they lit up fireworks in the section. That's how crazy that section was. Like, they literally, lit up fireworks. Maybe, I don't know if it was Stanley Cup Finals in 95 or was the Eastern Conference Finals against the Flyers in 95. But they actually had fireworks. We used to do Popcorn Day was probably one of the best days of my life, where we all took collection of money to buy popcorn, and we raised like $500 just like that in the parking lot. And I strategically planned it, and I think we had probably about 8 boxes of frickin' full of popcorn to give away to the section. And we told everybody, we throw the popcorn after the first goal. The problem was Sergei Brylin. It was against the Rangers, by the way. And Sergei Brylin scored a goal 2 minutes into the game. And we hadn't got done passing half of the popcorn. So it was raining popcorn for literally 5 minutes straight. It was a blizzard. I've never seen a blizzard. And I remember my buddy doing this. Like in Shawshank Redemption, he had his arms up. And he's like turning around, enjoying the blizzard of popcorn just being thrown randomly. And it was just constant, like a 5-minute continuous throwing popcorn all over the place. I probably threw about 30 bags. Because
That's incredible.
Yeah, I don't think that could ever be repeated again. But
I was gonna say that wouldn't happen today.
It might if we strategically plan it. I mean, I think it's funny. I think it's funny. I mean, everybody in the section was cool, but oh man! And when you threw the popcorn, the rafters were right above us. It was a very low ceiling, so I kept on throwing the bag at that rafter, and it would hit the rafter and then break apart, and then all the popcorn would just disperse like snow. It was It was the most amazing thing. And the guy from England, David, he had a digital camera. He was supposed to record it. He got so excited he forgot to. So I have no proof of this, except for a couple still shots where it's like literally like you think of a snow pile in a corner. There was like literally a popcorn pile on 2 seats covered.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny. How have I never heard this story before? All from Section 217.
That was a 218 thing. That was after the Civil War.
You were moved.
Yeah,
by
the Civil War was. I don't even know what it was about, but it was probably a lot of alcohol involved, and nobody knows what it was about. But we wanted to fight each other. It was the funniest thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
and popcorn was kind of part of your story the other night too, with dressed as a cookie.
Oh, yeah. I did that with the Marty Brodeur gear years ago. I had, at Continental, I was behind, actually. I might have video of it. I was behind Evgeny Malkin and Sidney Crosby. This is when they were, like, rookies, practically. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting behind, and I was just, like, waving, like I was flying like a bird, and Malkin was, like kind of, like, weirded out. Sidney Crosby, to his credit, was so focused on the game, he didn't even notice me. He kept on whining the whole time. Like, he bitched to the refs the entire time. Like, I was like, now I know why they call him a whiner back then.
Yeah, that was an issue early in his career. He definitely cleaned it up as he got older.
Yeah, but the Devils used to do a thing called separated at birth. So they had like somebody in the crowd looked like, Tim Allen, or, somebody looks like, another celebrity. And then finally they put me and Marty Brodeur together, and I'm on camera, and I took the popcorn and just poured it all over me. That's where it started.
Amazing.
From. Yeah.
That's amazing.
We got the podcast itself, like, we got to be doing that kind of fun stuff again. Like, like the stuff we do on the podcast, it's a lot of hard work, talking Devils hockey, even though, you and I are talking like random crap right now before a game. But that's what it's all about.
Second half of the season
to
do that.
Yeah. So, it was just, we used to do like crazy stuff. Or when I went to Madison Square Garden with the Marty gear on, I don't know if I can get away with it in today's world, but I did it in 2006. And I strategically planned it because I had a friend, if people remember Bill Mesmer, he passed away in 2009, but I had a friend who was, permanently disabled in a wheelchair, and he would literally help us get into Madison Square Garden with his tickets because he had wheelchair accessible tickets. So I couldn't at the time, this is before the renovation, there was no way I could fit in the Marty pads in the seats. No way. It just wouldn't work. So I sat in one of those chairs in that wheelchair accessible, and every Ranger fan came up to me and whispered horrific things. Absolutely horrific things, about Marty's sister-in-law and all that kind of stuff. And I had one Ranger fan come up to me. He's like, dude, I'm a hardcore Ranger fan. I'm saying this out of respect. You're going to get killed tonight, but I respect the hell out of you for doing this.
Sometimes people get it. They're the real ones. They get it.
Yeah. And then there's one guy. He's like, I'm Art Vandelay. I'm like, Art Vandelay? What are you talking about? He's like, on the message boards? I was like, you're the troll on the message boards? He's like, yeah. I read that you were going to do this. I didn't think you had the balls, but kudos, man. I'm not going to troll you ever again. You're the real deal. Yeah, and then there was
Art Vandelay, the guy who called me a name online.
Yeah, there was a fight. Yeah, plus there was a fight because a lot of Rangers fans were waiting at the tunnel for me to leave in the goalie gear. I had like waves of people, took care of them. I had reinforcements to walk me out, and of course I got out of the elevator, but then I ran into the Japanese tourists that stopped me for pictures, and then all the Ranger fans were like booing me the entire time outside the garden, So yeah, that's the kind of stuff. Amazing. I mean, Roman, who got me a ticket last game, he was the guy that got me down to Section 18. That's where his seats are. I said, "Are you ready for shenanigans?" He's like, "Yeah." So if you ever want me at a game, you got an extra ticket. If you're ready for shenanigans, I'll bring it. You just got to play along. You got to play the part. I dressed like a cookie. I had a goal light helmet on. I poured popcorn on myself twice. I almost blew that contest, that Easy Pass contest. I got a lousy T-shirt, which I eventually dropped in the beer and popcorn, so now it's all dirty right now. I got to figure out how to clean that T-shirt up. But, yeah. And also, yeah, folks, it is Taylor Ham. It is Taylor Ham.
Taylor Ham.
Yeah. I got the podcast sidetracked with old memories. My bad, Mike Rossi. No, this is what we do when we pregame. This is what it's all about. So, we're not trying to be, let Rachel and Bryce do that pregame analysis. We'll do it too. We'll do it too. Don't get me wrong, but we bring a different element here. We're fans too. So,
100%.
But let's get your predictions in right now. Let's see here. I already see some predictions, Vinny. Let me see if I can read it off to you. Wimpy says 4-0 Devils. Dag for Hansen says 4-3 final. Power play goes 3-for-3. Grits game-winning goal. That is detail central. Let's see here. 217. Let's see. 228 tried to outdo 217. Blah, blah. Oh yeah, there was another thing at 228. There was a conspiracy theory that the ringleader of the 228 back at Continental, he tried to merge us all and try to get the Devils to sell us tickets over there instead of going back to 217, 218. Anyway, that's another story for another day. Let's see here. Let's see. Any more scores? Let's see. 4-2 Devils. 2 goals from Timo, says Eddie. Pod Legend says 3-2 Devils. Robert Isaacson says 3-2 Devils. 1-0 Devs. Cody Glass, only goal, says Serve. I actually like that one. Felix says 4-2 Devs. Dubs is like 3-1 Islanders. Devils still can't score, and Markey automatically gives 3 goals. But, he was good the last game he played. And I hope he can, replicate that. I was actually going to mention that before.
He was very good.
Yeah. 3-1 Devs. Markey has a great game. 5-3 Devils, says AJ Visco from the law offices of AJ Visco and Sons. Selected Boy says 4-3 Devils. Vinny, what do you say?
I think the New Jersey Devils beat the New York Islanders 3-1.
3-1. Good score. Empty net goal for that third goal?
No.
3-1. It's going to be a pure
Standard
3. All right.
Yep.
All right.
Although Patrick Waugh is their coach.
Yeah, I'm just going to say 5-3 Devils. 5-3. I think the Devils are going to put some pucks on, unless they're starting a rookie that's never played the Devils before, that usually, plays like a Vezina winner.
That does happen. I mean, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen was incredible the other night too.
Yeah, but I say 5-3 Devils.
Yeah, that's a good score. I could totally. I would love an offensive outburst like that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, we're going to get out of here. We're going to have Game Day Live after the game. Scotty at SiriusXM, Liquid Metal, and I will recap the game that was. And also, feat of strength. I said on the Morning Woo I want to wrestle Tom Fitzgerald for his job.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
He kicked
my ass,
I just want to
say, I don't know. He's a little skinny guy. I want to say to the people, I'm not going to be on, obviously, before the holiday, so enjoy Devils After Dark after you watch the Devils beat the Islanders tonight. Enjoy a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody. I'm excited to get the post-Christmas portion of the schedule underway with you all starting at the end of the week. So hope everybody has a good time with their families.
Yep. Devils Heaven says 4-3 Devils. We're going to get out of here. Devils Islanders. See you after the game. Till next time, let's go Devils.